Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Sarasota Tim coming to you from Laughlin, Nevada. How are you 98,000 beautiful souls doing out there today, plus and counting? Today's video, I wanted to talk to you about, I am probably one of the most popular YouTubers that discuss Social Security. While there has been maybe many other videos that had more views, I think that my videos have convinced more people and created more controversy, I should say, with some people in the community, in the internet world out there, regarding my opinion. I am an advocate on collecting Social Security at day one, the very earliest day you can collect. And when is that? That's at the age of 62 years old. And what I discovered when I started making these videos was a lot of people, hundreds of people, maybe thousands, weren't even aware they could collect Social Security as early as 62 years old. A lot of people were under the impression, because they heard about 65 as when you get your Medicare, they thought that's when Social Security began. They heard 67 or 66 or whatever if you're old enough, when you reach what they call FRA, that stands for full retirement age. And a lot of other people have heard different ages you can get it, but if you take it any earlier than the last minute, that you're going to get ripped off, that you're going to lose money, you're going to be taking less than you're entitled to, and that only a fool would do that. Well, I'm here to tell you, I won't say that you're a fool if you wait past 62, but I will say that you are ignorant to the facts. And the fact is, you will collect more money in your bank, in your pocket, your free money, your check, the money you paid your taxes into, based on your best 35 years of earning, by collecting your Social Security from day one at the age of 62. And of all of my videos that I've made, I always make this one stipulation, that there's only one reason and one reason only that you should not collect your Social Security at age 62. And that is that you're making so much money at 62 years old, and you love your prison job so much that you don't want to quit doing that, and you just want to keep on doing it and forget about life and freedom and retirement, and you just want to keep going to your prison job and keep making that great money you're making. In that case, more power to you. This video is not for you. You just keep on going to your prison job, and you just let life pass you by. And then one day you'll decide, maybe it's at 67 or 70, some people say, very few though, that I'll quit then, and then I'll live my life when I'm in a rocking chair drinking Geritol. Sure. All right, you do that. Let me know how that works out for you. For the rest of us, we are ready to quit our prison jobs. We are ready to get our free check. We are ready to be able to supplement it, because it's not going to be enough to support us. It's never been intended, no matter what age you quit and get your check, and it only grows a little bit by waiting. It's only to help you. It's not to support you. If you had no bills whatsoever, maybe, and you lived very, very frugal, maybe you could have enough money on your Social Security in 2024, you probably could have done it just fine just a few years ago, but we all know what's happened with inflation. So let me explain. Social Security is a free check. I call it a free check, free money. And people push back because they don't get my sayings. I have sayings, and my Social Security is my money. That's my money I paid in my taxes all my life, and it's based on my best 35 years of my earnings. And so I get $1,700 every month for the rest of my life. Every month, like clockwork, I wake up at midnight, 1 in the morning, and there it is, automatic deposit. When my grandparents got it, they were mailed a check, and somehow or another, even in those days, they mailed it, and those people got it right on the first of the month. And if it fell on a weekday, a weekend I should say, they would get it earlier, and it never failed. I mean, they get it out there to you. But today, no one gets checks we get it automatic deposit. So you wake up and you got that money. It's a wonderful feeling that every month, I looked so forward to it when I was going to collect my Social Security. I was counting it down for 2 years. And we're going to get into about how you collect it. But I was counting it down thinking, man, every month, when I get my $1,700 or $1,500 or $1,300 or $2,000, whatever it is, the amount that you're going to get, whenever you get that every month, you've got already, before you walked out the door, you didn't have to do anything. The rest of your life, you get this check. And that's generally enough to, pay for your food, pay for your roof over your head, your rent or your mortgage or something like that. And the reason it's going to be enough is because when you get to be 62 years old and you're going to quit your job and get your Social Security check, you're obviously not going to be one that's still paying on a big mortgage and has 5 credit cards and 2 car loans and all kinds of debt on everything you can imagine, and subscriptions for Netflix and this and that, and you're paying your landscaper, your pool guy, you're doing all this stuff that you don't have no business owing. You need to be debt free. When you're in your mid 50s and you're getting close to being 62, you need to get your game together, and that is getting out of the game of owing anybody anything. You want to be able to retire and live your life and do what you want to do, because you've only got from 62 11 years, according to the statistics, as a male to live left on life, and who knows what the last few years could be before you take your last breath. So what do you really have? So you're going to wait 5 more years from 62 to 67 to collect Social Security, and then only have the sick left years of when you might have a heart attack or contract diabetes or need a hip, or your eyesight's going bad, your hearing's going bad, your gizzards are going bad, your muscles are weak, your faculties have changed, something happened to you, and now you are just existing. But let's say the other scenario. Let's say you're Jack LaLanne, you live to be 100, you go way past 73, and you're swimming the ocean, you're swimming the channel from, what's that prison out there in San Francisco? Alcatraz, right over to the shore and back. You are Superman. All right, so you get more checks, that's all I can tell you, and you're going to be living your life. But for the masses, the average age is 73. So why work till you're 67 and have 6 years of potentially, and not even reaching 67. Some people die before that. So, it really is about looking at your life. And earlier when I said it's not meant to support you, you will still need a job, a side hustle, I call it. But this is different than the prison job that you had for 40, 50, or whatever years until you reach 62. This is a job that you choose to do. Like, I used to pass out food samples standing in the air conditioning at a grocery store to give people to try. And I had a little vest on and a bow tie, and I met people, and I'm an extrovert, so I enjoyed that. You may be somebody that just wants to work 2 or 3 or 4 hours a day for a company that needs somebody to answer their phone for them in the morning until they shut down, or in the middle of the day. You may be somebody that still wants to be a labor job, and you want to go stock some shelves from about 4 o'clock in the morning till 8 or 10 in the morning and be done with your day. You may be somebody that all your life you were a helper, or you had a skill set. You were a painter, a plumber, electrician, an auto mechanic, and you have these skills, but now instead of having to go to your dealership or a place where you worked, you can have a side hustle and do these kinds of electrical, plumbing, home repair, automotive repair, these kinds of things. I'm talking to the men now, or unless you're a woman and you know how to do those things too, whatever. But you can do that on the side and name your own price instead of getting a little salary and then your boss take the lion's share. Now you get all the money. You make a deal with somebody that you're going to detail their car, repair their car, fix their plumbing, put a new wall in, add a room onto their house, paint their house, paint the inside of their house, do something that you know how to do, fix some kind of electrical thing, because you got skills. And once you get a few customers and people get to know you, you can run an ad on Craigslist or whatever as a handyman, and you just choose your own deal. And you make this money just like easy peasy, and it keeps you busy, it keeps you healthy, and everybody wants you to help them out and do these jobs, and you're supplementing your Social Security. I mean, I know almost all these guys that work at the golf courses where I play golf are all on Social Security, and they're in the pro shop taking the money, setting up tee times. They're out there in the cart barn, and they're handing you a key to the cart, and they park the carts back in and plug them in and charge them up for the next day. And they get free golf too by doing that. And also making a little bit of money and doing what they want to do. There's all kinds of side. You can walk dogs. You can do anything. You can even clean houses. You're a clean person. You're a woman that's always kept the house clean. You might have just a handful of customers that need you to come in every couple of weeks and do it. And you can decide whether you want to do laundry, dusting, windows. You decide. You're the boss. And you make this money. And let's say you have no skills and you quit your job and you want your Social Security. You got your 17, your 15, your 18, whatever, coming in every month, but you need more. So you go down and be a greeter at Walmart or Target. They're paying $16 to $20 an hour depending on the state you live in. Okay? And you stand there for 5 or 6 hours. Part-time people are naming their own hours and their own deal. And that's great because you're not getting the health insurance and all that kind of stuff. You're not a full-time employee. So that's how you make it, and you have no debt. And you are now from 62 years old, you're living this free life. You're working 8, 10, 20 hours a week, down from 40, 50 hours a week. You're not paying for lunches and dry cleaning, gas every day, and commuting to this job that paid you pretty good money that's a half hour away. You're sitting in traffic. Maybe it takes you an hour to get there. You're not dealing with the drama. You're not dealing with all the people you work with. You're not being appreciated. You are now out of the prison job business. You're doing your own thing, and you've got this check, this free money coming in every month like clockwork for the rest of your life till you take your last breath. And that amount of money, like my $1,700, whatever that, however long I would have to work to make $1,700 is what I can work less now. Okay, if I was paid hourly wage and I was getting $15 an hour, you just divide that. That's how many hours less per week or per month that you would have to work. All right, so that's why you collect your Social Security at 62. You say, wait, that isn't enough. That's not enough money, and that's why? No, you get more money. If you want to collect that free check and you want to get Social Security by waiting, and people tell you get more money, is a myth, is a scam, is a lie. You get less money. Got it right here, folks. Got it right here. And this, I've done this so many times, I'm going to do it again, because since I've been doing this, there's a lot of people that have not come privy to this information. When I first started making these videos, I'll tell you why it hit the algorithm and I got millions of views. Right after the pandemic, a lot of baby boomers like myself were put out of business, as we all were when the shutdown happened, and their businesses were no longer there after the pandemic and they wanted to go back to work. Or they were still in business, the businesses they worked for, but they didn't know whether they wanted to go back to work. Nobody wanted to work again after the pandemic. So they started searching about collecting their Social Security or their pensions or something. And they looked on YouTube to get some more information because, like I said earlier in the video, thousands of people weren't even aware you could collect it at 62. They always heard 65, 67. At 62, even the ones that did hear of it thought, don't do that. You lose money. Don't want to do that. Well, I'm here to tell you, folks, that's all BS. You want to get that check as soon as you can, except for that one reason that we talked about earlier. And I'm going to go over the numbers with you right now. But Most important, before I get into the numbers, and I've started saying this on all these Social Security videos, folks, the average age for a male is 73 years old. That's a very short life. After you're 21 years old and you're on your own and you work for 40 years and you get to be 62, you've got very little runway in front of you versus the runway behind you. Even if you live to be 80, you got a lot less in front of you. And a lot of those years, even if you go all the way up to 80 or 85, are old person years. You're not doing what I'm doing today. You're not doing what you're doing today if you're in your 50s or 60 years old. You're going to be much older and you will degrade very rapidly. Proof? You want proof? Look how you grew from 12 to 17 years old, from 12 to 20 years old. Look at your life, how you turned from a child to an adolescent to a young adult. Look how you became a full-grown bear at 30 years old, 40 years old. Look how you came into who you are with all your skills, your talents, your full length, your full body, everything, men and women. Well, the same thing's going to happen to you folks as that roller coaster gets to the top and starts to go downhill. And man, does it go downhill a lot quicker than it goes uphill. And so from 62 years old to 67 is a huge change in your life for most people. It's true. And from 67 to 73, the average lifespan is another big. You're really on that roller coaster going down. And from 73 to 80, if you go that far, 85, you are, you're bottoming out and you're just, if you're not in an old people's home, you're sitting around, you can't take the heat, you can't take the cold, you can't go out and walk as long as you used to, you can't run as fast and as far as you used to, you may not even be able to drive, your eyesight's bad, you had a stroke, you got a bad hip, your hearing is no good, you're an old person. I'm going to be an old person. Is that life? Is that the life you want by giving your life away and wanting to just work till you're 67 or 70? And don't you see that little window I just showed you? That if you go from 62 to 67, those are prime years. It should be 55 retirement. They should give us our Social Security at 55 years old because you're not going to live to be 110, so you're way past halfway point. You're only going to be to 75 to 80 at the most. Most people. Look at the statistics. Look at the people that you know that don't even make it to 62 or 67. They're sitting there waiting for that extra $600 and they die. And all they did was die while they were still working their prison job. So let's talk about the money. Now, which is not the most important part. The most important part is living your life. Nobody's promised tomorrow. I'm living a life. Watch my videos. Watch my other videos besides these. Watch my living life videos. And you will see that I'm convinced. I've convinced myself. I've known this for all my life. I've been semi-retired for many years because of the business that I had. I was self-employed. And I would never give my life away. My best years, my best weeks, my best hours of the day, you want me to give to some prison job, to some employer that wants to give me this much of the profits while he makes this much and gets every nickel he can out of me. And if I don't do it exactly right, I'm fired. And then if he releases me at 4 or 5 o'clock and says, go home, get a shower, get something to eat, pick up your dry cleaning, do whatever you're going to do, watch your TV program, go to sleep, get a good night's rest, and then tomorrow morning, be right back here. That's what a prison job is. So when you get 62, tell them I'm out. Get your free check, work your side hustle, you call the shots, and you start living your life. Get out there and play some golf. Get you a camper and start traveling. Become a full-time RVer. Get rid of all your debt. Live in your little house, sell your home, make your profits, put your money in the bank, get yourself a small place, rent, buy a little villa or something, or condo. Don't cut grass anymore. Get rid of all that stuff in your house. Get rid of all them things you got in that garage. Become a minimalist. Just live your life. All you need, as far as I'm concerned, is a place to recharge your battery that's safe and low cost. And go out and do and run around. Take cruises. Go see the country. Live your life before you're out of here. Now let's talk about the money, the meat of this video. At 62 years old, we're going to use me for an example. I get $1,700 a month. Times 12 months is $20,400. $20,400 every year I get put in my bank. Now wait, I know you know about the COLA, cost of living adjustment. We're not gonna talk about that. Yeah, I'll get a little bit more money next year. You know what they give us? It's not even worth adding, because where they give us, they take away in the Medicare. I mean, it ends up being like $20 to $40 each year. You get more. 2 years ago, we got the biggest in 40 years, about $150 more a month. That was a good one. But generally, and maybe they'll do it again, generally, they don't want to give us any more. So I get, just say it never goes up, and it's going to, I get $20,400 a year. I also get $20,400 a year for 5 years, compared to my twin brother over here. He said, no, I'm going to wait till I'm 67, and I'm going to get $600 more. He wants that $600 more. So he says, I'm going to wait 5 more years. I say, okay. So during that 5 years of $20,400 for 5 years, at age 67, I've got $102,000 plus my side hustle money that I've made in the bank. And $102,000 of it, I didn't even have to do anything. I didn't even have to work. They're emptying the dumpster next door. I thought somebody was doing something. I didn't have to do anything. I got $102,000 sent to me, put in my bank, free. Okay? Now my twin brother gets to be the age of 67. He gets his first check. He's got $600 more coming in that I'm getting, but I've already got $102,000. All right? So the next level is, let's go to the 73 years old. Right here, 73 years old. $20,400 a year. That's 11 years I've been collecting, and I will have $224,400 that I have collected in the bank. $224,000, $250,000 almost. All right? Not including my side hustle money. All right? And then that's at 73 years old. My twin brother, he started collecting, he got $600 more, and so he finally started getting $2,300 a month, and at 12 months, he gets $27,600 a year. But he had to wait till 67 to get that first check. Remember, I already collected $102,000. But now we're 73 years old, and I've been collecting for 11 years and collected $224,000. He's been collecting for only 6 years at the bigger amount, and he's got $165,600. He's still $58,800 less money after collecting it for 6 years, after waiting for 5 years to get this, and then 6 years later, at the average age of dying, he's still $58,800 short of what I've collected. Now let's go to the next level. I'm 80 years old and I've reached the end of my life. But I started collecting my $20,400. I didn't get a penny raise. I didn't get the COLA. I just got $20,400 plus all my side hustle money, whatever I was able to put in my pocket on the side. And for 18 years I collected, and I drew $367,200. All right, for 18 years. Not too bad, free money, and 18 years of it. Okay, my twin brother, he started 5 years later, and now he also is at the end of his life at 80 years old, and he got the $27,600 because he got $600 more. He collected at the end of his life, $358,800. Right there. He is still, at 80 years old, at the end of his life, $8,400 less money he collected than I did by starting mine at 62. And him waiting 5 years and almost a few years left of the average lifespan. And he's at the end of his life, he waited that 5 years, he's still over $8,000 less money than I got by taking it at 62 and getting $600 less. Because they don't want you to collect right away. They will have to give you more money. They don't want to give you any money. They hope you die. Are you kidding me? You're not even, paying a lot of taxes anymore and a big wage earner anymore. You're retired. You're not worth helping out. They don't want to give you anything. They hope you die. And nobody gets that money. Now listen. Some people say you get more than $600. More. You get more. All right, let's go to $700. This part will be real quick, I promise. $700 more. So now at $2,400, instead of $23 times 12 months, you get $28,800 a year. And when you get to be in 6 years, if you wait till you're 67, in 6 years, at 73 years old, you'll have $172,800 you collected. But now you're, instead of $58,000 less, you're $51,000, $51,600 you've still collected less. And then at 80 years old, you collected for 13 years, you get the bigger check, $700 more money. You got $374,400 you collected. You've got $7,200 more money. You went over. At 80 years old, at the $700 more, you finally went over and collected $7,200 more than I did. My twin brother, he collected that much money, and the $7,200 over 18 years, because he waited from 62, he got a whopping $400 more a year, average. And guess what that is? $400 more a year divided by 12 months, he got $33.33 more per month. If he makes it to 80, he'll get that $33. Now, folks, if that doesn't prove it, I don't know what does. Math is math. You can take any numbers you want. You could go to $800 more, and it's not if you wait till you're 67. It's not $800. It's not any more than $700, I don't believe. Because based on what your check would be at 62 versus what you get at 67, it's still, the difference. Your difference, not what you get versus what I get, what you get at 62 and what you get at 67. And these people that talk about what they get at 67 or 70, they come up with this thousands of dollars more a month or $1,500 more a month. Hooey! That is hooey. You get exactly what they say you get. The 8%, and it only happens from 67 to 70, that 30% more money. It's very, very little each year to 67. It only grows a lot more if you wait till you're 70. That's just plain nuts, in my opinion. I mean, you're almost dead. You're going to be dead soon at 70. I mean, what do you got left? You don't have 20 years, do you? Not good life. So 62, you get a free check, you get a side hustle, you start living your life, you go like this to your prison job, and you start crushing it.